Isang bulan na mo ron chumena matagni ko ni rongo ni bibo ko matagni ke misa po. Niya na isang bulan na sero ko ni sana. Chumena kino na mo ron chumay. Tu na sile. Isang bulan oyo Mr. Ben.
Kela po.
Na magkikira ni bibo mataka mo ni chikira mo ron buka may no kina diwa na Bula FM.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. In this bulletin, quick response saves Suva home. Government lashes out at opposition and efforts to help lepers fight discrimination. A quick response from the National Fire Authority prevented a double-storey house from being destroyed in a fire in Suva today. No one was hurt in the blaze that was put out at around midday. Ellen Stalls has the story.
Fire trucks from the Suva station and Valilevu were engaged to put out the fire. This tenant of the double-storey home said they took what they could and fled the scene.
Landlord called us, so we are very shocked. We didn't know what to do. We just rushed out from home.
This is the neighbor that made the emergency call and helped the tenants evacuate the building. Angela Ravtomanda said she did all that was possible to help before the firefighters arrived on the scene.
Calm them down. I told them, see, your life is most important in your life. Never mind your stuff. You can buy another laptop tomorrow and things like that.
The National Fire Authority says they managed to stop the flames from spreading to neighboring homes and contained it to the first story of the house. As investigations continue into the cause of this blaze, the NFA is reminding homeowners to take extra care. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
The Fijian government says the opposition needs to follow proper protocol before trying to interfere with the civil service. This after opposition leader Rote Mumukepa said government stopped civil servants in the north from meeting her during a recent tour there. Attorney General Ayah Said Qayyum says the opposition needs to get its facts right before making statements to the press.
It is not an official visit. It is a visit by Sodelpa. It is not a visit sanctioned through a standing committee. It is not a visit that the parliament has voted and said the visit should take place. It is carried out by the leader of opposition and whoever has gone with her on their own volition. So no civil servant is obliged to cater for them. No civil servant is obliged to go and respond to their questions, nor to give them an update on government projects.
Said Qayyum adds any questions that the opposition leader and other members may have need to be asked in Parliament. Fiji has recorded 2 cases of leprosy this year, bringing the total number of patients to 16 over the past 5 years. The Ministry of Health is now working to create awareness and educate all Fijians in a bid to avoid discrimination against those who are suffering from the disease.
The Ministry of Health and Medical Services of Fiji leprosy program has achieved most of its targets to combat the diseases 10 years after the introduction of multi-drug therapy. However, the Health Ministry says while the disease is curable and free treatment is available, one of their major fights is against discrimination of those suffering leprosy.
Despite the small number of diagnosed cases of leprosy, the program continues to maintain surveillance and to provide patient rehabilitation support for patients with disabilities and their families.
Lepers Chani Musuke and Penny Vunideva vividly remember how the disease was cured at Makongai Island in the 1960s when they were amongst those who were affected.
I was released from Makongai Island in 1964 after spending 4 months there.
I was admitted at Makongai Island in 1968 and was given DDS medicine, which helps cure the disease.
Dr. Apisalome Nakolenivalu, who is in charge of the Health Ministry's Leprosy Division, says awareness programs were introduced to ensure patients are given full care.
We have reached our elimination goal. That is less than 1 case per 10,000 population. And now the shift now is towards we try to alleviate the fear and the discrimination and the stigma that is attached to this disease. That is our main challenge now.
A private non-profit organization, Nippon Foundation, has set aside $50 million to be distributed around the world in order to help 5 million leprosy patients to be able to get a free medicine and cure. Samuel Tambua, FBC News.
The executive chairman of Biosecurity of Fiji, Xavier Khan, says the temporary suspension of long bean and okra exports by New Zealand's Ministry for Primary Industries is uncalled for and unjustified. Khan made the comments following the temporary suspension issued on the 21st of October. Madhyam Bolaitamana has more on the story.
It is the statement issued by the New Zealand High Commission on behalf of its Ministry of Primary Industries that has got the men at the helm at BEF up in arms.
We have all confidence in our inspection processes which the biosecurity officers carry out at the pack houses and also before export. So the hatching of the larva in transit time from Fiji to New Zealand, we don't take responsibility for that.
According to the statement, the NZMPI has intercepted potentially harmful pests, namely Thrips palmi, on 3 shipments of long bean and okra during October and an earlier interception of long beans in August. But Khan says otherwise.
We also trade with other partners, and with other partners we never had this experience, and we also have a lot of interceptions of New Zealand consignments in Fijian borders. But BAF and also Fiji being a member of World Trade Organization, and through its agreements, we take all necessary actions as per the international standards, and we allow consignments in the country.
Khan says BEF has been diligent in its operations and has been adhering to international trade requirements when it comes to exports.
We classify these suspensions unjustified, unprofessional, and not in line with the international standards. On the same note, if you look at the processes involved in the pack houses and the quality controllers of the pack houses, basically Biosecurity Authority of Fiji is very confident in the inspection processes, which is 100%. And whilst we're carrying out inspection, we also issue phytosanitary certificates. So as a competent authority, we are very confident in what we actually deliver.
This is the second time this year Fijian exports have been suspended by the NZMPI for not complying with the export standards set by New Zealand. Madhyam Bolaitamana, FBC News.
Construction at the Fiji National Provident Fund's Greg Street property development is going well, with revelations that it will also house a supermarket. FNPF Chief Investment Officer Chochi Koroi says once complete, the property will be a landmark that will transform the face of Suva. Shireen Lata reports.
Construction on the Greg Street retail development commenced during the last financial year. This building will house a major supermarket on the ground floor with additional retail spaces on the first floor and food court in the second.
And at this stage, work is progressing well and we are on target according to timeline.
The development is designed to complement the existing Provident Plaza, and both complexes will be serviced by a 3-story car parking facility to be constructed in the next financial year. The FNPF is also actively involved in the redevelopment of the famous Momi Bay project. Remedial works on the existing structures and the lagoon rectification have been completed.
Which, according to contract, it's about 1 year from now. So it should be, construction will be completing around October, November next year.
FNPF has also started renovations here at Holiday Inn in Suva. Apart from this, the fund is also undertaking commercial development in Nandi and is expected to start work shortly. Sharin Lata, FBC News.
After the break, going ball to raise cancer awareness.
मेरा चांद मुझे आया है नजर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। छाया है नशा मेरे आंखों पर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। रह जाए ना प्यासा मेरा प्यार, मेरे बाहों में भर दे मेरा यार, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। है दोस्तों, मैं हूं जितेन शांडिल। आप रात के बाद हमारे साथ अब रफ्तार प्रोग्राम में 3 से लेकर रात 7 के बीच शामिल हो सकते हैं। मिर्ची FM, इट्स हॉट।
A new locally produced television series called Spice of Life was launched last night at the Fiji National University Raiwai campus in Suva. The show features an all-local cast and crew, some of whom are students from the School of Creative Arts and Film, as well as a few lecturers at the university. Ellen Stahls has the story.
These men and women will soon be local celebrities, with the launch of this local series produced by Amal Lal Productions. FNU Head of Film and Television Department, Arun Chakravorty, said the school was inspired to give the audience of Fiji what they wanted. A TV series with local stories made by local talent, shows they can relate to.
To make a strong local television industry which will help us to inspire economic growth, create employment opportunities for graduates of School of Creative Arts, and as well as locals, and strengthen cultural diversity and increase social dialogues.
The students put on a wonderful performance to mark the launch of the series before invited guests got a sneak peek of the show. Chakravorty also thanked Acting Vice-Chancellor, who was instrumental in funding the project.
For the lovers of the spoken word, how creative is it to conceive of a TV series in Fiji where all 3 languages are spoken? Fortunately with English subtitles. To all of the film and TV crew here at Raiwai, I tip my hats to you. It's a great result and you should all be proud of Spice of Life. I'm super proud.
Some of the names to feature in the show includes Amal Lal, who is a former television personality, and also the famous Manoa Rasingatale in the mix.
The 7 episodes of Spice Your Life is scheduled to air on FBC TV by next month. Ellen Stahls, FBC News.
The Minister for Lands, Mereseni Vuniwanga, opened a new surveyor's office in Lautoka yesterday to cater for the growing demands for service delivery in the Western Division. Land management and surveying for the Western Division lifted a notch yesterday when the Minister and outgoing Permanent Secretary Tevita Mbosewanga was on hand to open the Burabus building in the Sugar City. The new wing will house the Ministry's surveyors, an arm that has been without a proper facility for some years, and this new project has been made possible through funding allocated by the Public Service Commission. Mbosewanga, who leaves the Ministry at the end of the year, said the building will go a long way in service delivery for the division.
The opening today marks a way where we are elevating the surveyors. For a bit long, they've been left behind the scene. So this is another way forward to elevate and acknowledge the contribution by the surveyors, especially in the West.
A young woman concerned about the rising rate of breast cancer has decided on a type of self-sacrifice to generate awareness on the problem. A meeting by chance 6 years ago at the Lautoka Hospital with a young cancer patient inspired Sanjina Narayan to launch the Go Bald, Give Hope campaign.
Going through her phase of life while she was suffering from cancer until she died, I was very closely involved with her in her healthcare. And after she died, I made a point that I would do something out of my life and give it back to the cancer patients in Fiji.
Her campaign is to honor women, young girls and close friends who have succumbed to the disease and today are fighting it or are proud survivors. Sanjina volunteers with various NGOs. She's currently based with the Fiji Cancer Society's West Branch and has been motivated to shave her head to raise more awareness on cancer.
We are also encouraging other women to come forward, and hopefully we will look on the final day, which falls on the 14th of November. There will be some volunteers who will come up.
The culmination of her fundraising will be held at Shirley Park in Lautoka starting at 9 a.m. with a number of activities planned for the morning, as well as a head-shaving auction to take place before the final event, when Orion will lose her locks.
We urge all the women and men, even the men, to know your body well, know yourself, and look after yourself, and go to the hospitals early. Just go to the doctor, get yourself checked, because for cancer, early detection is the only way to cure it.
Narayan says she is determined to see it become an annual event. The Fiji Cancer Society recorded 217 deaths caused by breast cancer, making it the leading killer of women in Fiji. White Cane Safety Day is celebrated in October annually, came to an end in Suva today. White cane is a symbol of independence and freedom used by those who are blind or visually impaired. Shriti Prasad has more.
White Cane Safety Day is an annual event organized by United Blind Persons of Fiji and Fiji Society for the Blind. Today, the members gathered in Watuanga to close the campaign, which started from October 15. Assistant Minister for Youth and Sports Eliesa Delana says people should promote recognition and acceptance of the white cane as a symbol of need for the visually impaired individuals.
The white cane can be perceived by many as a symbol of blindness or visually impaired. White canes are recognized for providing the visually impaired with greater mobility, allowing them to participate more within their communities. Blind and visually impaired people have used cane as mobility tools for centuries, but it was not until after World War I that the white cane was properly introduced.
For the past 2 weeks, members visited schools and organizations to conduct a white cane awareness campaign to educate on the uses of cane as a mobility tool. 33-year-old Jyoti Naidu says the cane has helped her in many ways.
I got this cane, I'm able to move around. Like my family, they don't have to tell me whether there's a step or there's a pole.
The president of United Blind Persons of Fiji, Sisi Doala, says they are always looking for ways to better their assistance to the visually impaired.
Someone out there with a cane, not to ignore them, but to go up and assist if they feel that they need assistance, and also to just go out and talk to them and learn more about people with disabilities.
The white cane can be perceived by many as a symbol of blindness or visual impairment, but white canes are recognized for providing the visual impaired with greater mobility, allowing them to participate more than within their communities. Shriti Prasad, FBC News.
It is a health fad that has got a group of women in Lautoka raising awareness on wellness and healthy living. Last night, Colour Explosion received a hefty check from the Minister for Health, Choneo Samate, as they herald a new season of spreading the word in the Sugar City. Madhyam Bolaitamana with this report.
Colour Explosion is an organization made up of women in the Sugar City and parts of the Western Division who are keen on raising awareness about wellness and maintaining a healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely important in this country. I was earlier on talking to some of the chefs that were here, that are here today, and I was talking to them about in terms of wellness and about this big issue that we have that's affecting everybody in this country, the issue of NCDs. And one of the big challenges that we have in NCDs, one of the challenges is something that is going to be addressed through this walking towards wellness where people get fit. The other challenge that we have is trying to make sure that people eat the right kind of food.
Last night saw one of the Sugar City's biggest business houses donate to the cause in harnessing the message of promoting physical activities as a means of maintaining good health.
People eat the right kind of food. And in order to do that, we need to make good food glamorous. That's a big challenge for us. And I think also in things of getting people to exercise, we need to make it glamorous too. And I think that's what you've done very well. With this rainbow meeting, this Colour Explosion exercise that you have. Going through the photographs that we've just seen just shows how you've been able to make just a normal or something exciting, something that really speaks to people when they see these things happening. So first of all, I'd like to congratulate everybody that is part of this exercise.
The minister said government will continue to support efforts such as this one in combating the growing phenomena of non-communicable diseases in Fiji. Madhyam Bolaitamana, FBC News.
Coming up in sports, Fijian Army side qualifies for international tournament final. And sports administrators learn better skills.
imbula bina na turanga na marama na turbugi ngone lewa imbula bina rangone kanu itaki ni marata itilon tapi bingomi na bio liba ni radio Fiji 1 ndo bai viti na bonga ni bianu yanu oya upio ratuanga na mni daun bengravi na makia mai daun kita tiri karua moniti kina barumbuka ene wasini ngone baru taki kilo monikoro ilutu na karomo.
Daveta Levo and Tambandamu are among the frontrunners for the Central Coast Sevens title in Sydney, Australia. The two sides, laced with current and former national reps, have been in devastating form throughout the opening day today, despite the sweltering heat. In the women's division, Telecom Fijiana has come out firing with 2 big wins, while Nandi Blazers managed a win from 2 games. Pool games are still underway and the quarterfinals will be played tomorrow. Administrators from various local sporting bodies have been learning the basics of sports management over the past 3 days. The Oceania Sports Education Program teaches participants the necessary skills to take back to their respective sports. Chalindao Vakadaka has more.
These participants have been learning the basics of good governance and sports administration to take back to their national federations.
We've got 2 sessions like this happening simultaneously and 3 other sports and communities programs. So basically this course is an administration course and it runs for 4 days. And we often find administration to be a challenge with all our unions. Hopefully at the end of this course some of these issues can be addressed.
One thing that was highlighted was that most administrators are not fully aware of the roles to undertake within their respective bodies. The course has enabled participants to identify their roles and those of others within their organizations.
And we are very thankful for that, and all of them have agreed that there should be a way forward for us instead of just coming in once a year at the AGM or the SGM and people already made up their mind on what to give at those forums.
This is the last allocated course of the year for the national federations, and participants will have gained the necessary skills to improve their various sporting bodies and build up for 2016. Talento Takavaka, FBC Sports.
The Republic of Fiji Military Forces is through to the final of the International Defence Rugby Competition in England. RFMF will take on British Army in the final next Friday at 7 a.m. British Army, featuring Fiji-born players Jack Prasad, Junior Bulmakau and Semesa Rokontunguni, defeated New Zealand 40-15 in the second semi-final. David Pocock and Israel Folau have both been picked to play for Australia in Monday's Rugby World Cup semi-final against Argentina. The pair missed last weekend's heart-stopping quarter-final against Scotland because of injuries, but are cleared to return to the starting lineup. The Wallabies meet Argentina in the semi-final at 4 a.m. on Monday. New Zealand will take on South Africa in the first semi-final at 3 a.m. tomorrow, and you can watch both matches live on FBC TV. The Fiji men's hockey side was hammered 12-0 by New Zealand in the Oceania Cup. Fiji's last match in the tournament is against Samoa in the third and fourth playoff at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. New Zealand will take on Australia in the final at 3 p.m. and needs a win to book a spot in the Rio Olympic Games next year. Generally fine weather conditions prevailed over the country today. A trough of low pressure remains slow-moving over Tuvalu and extends southeastwards over Tokelau. Meanwhile, a broad easterly wind flow prevails over most southwest Pacific Island countries. In temperatures, Lambasa recorded the highest temperature today with 33 degrees, Nandi on 30 degrees, Suva recorded 29 degrees, and Savu Savu was on 28. Forecast to midnight for tomorrow is brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands, fine apart from isolated afternoon or evening showers elsewhere. And the further outlook is for Monday, it's brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands, afternoon or evening showers elsewhere. And recapping the main stories tonight, quick response saves Suva property from being destroyed. Government tells opposition to know their place, and Health Ministry looks at ways to help lepers avoid discrimination. Our poll question, this week, we're asking, should we keep John McKee until the 2019 Rugby World Cup? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. Bye for now.